This is Laki, and I'm going to talk about, well, Fallen's asexual journey. If you don't know this, I am an asexual content creator. I'm actually gray asexual. See the gray in the flag? So, asexuality has four types of people in the asexual community. So the first one is people who are asexual, people who don't find a sexual attraction, and that's pretty much what the purple represents. It's pretty much people who are just have no physical attraction to people at all. The white is to represent people who are actually appalled by sex, who find sex completely disgusting, something that they would never do, something that they wouldn't even try, even if they were paid. Gray asexual, something that I am. I do like content and kinks and whatnot, but I don't have attractions or affiliation to the kinks. I do a lot of like sex toy reviews and I do a lot of water sporting, but I'm not into water sporting, but it pays me. So gray asexual is like, you pay me for what you want, and also gray asexuals also cover asexuals who want to have kids. In the future, I would love to have kids, and so I may not be sexually attracted to women, but I would love to have children one day in the future. So that's why I am gray asexual, is that I actually do get paid to do certain content and certain videos for people, and I don't mind doing it as long as I get paid or it helps me, get money to help me afford certain things. And then there's the black part of the black part, which represent people of color, and also represents that we can be straight, we can be gay, we can be bi. So the black part is pretty much covering people of color and also covering people who are straight asexual, gay asexual, and pretty much putting the whole flag together. So how did I discover I was asexual? How did I discover it? So I had this for college by myself, which is not a fun story people want to talk about. 4 years, I ended up in $40,000 in debt, but I managed to go through it by selling. I was at Starbucks for most of my time in college. We had this dude who sold shoes to us. Well, he would buy our shoes from us, and he would pay a really good fee for it. I think it was like $800, and that was that was enough to cover 2 months of college, and I would also get new shoes, and he would pay $800 a month every 2 months. And I dated a woman who was polyamorous, and she got me into stripping, and that's how I got into OnlyFans. That's how I got into Chatterbait, and that's how I got into sex toy reviews. That's how I got into Pornhub. That's how I actually got into the porn field, is because of my ex. I know she was my ex. She was legitimately my pimp, and I saw how easy it was to make money. And I could work 2 jobs, have a double life, and I liked it. I was like, cool, I get to live a double life. And I saw, I've done sex content. This is like, I stopped doing that, but like for 4 years I did a lot of like physical content, and I actually did have my names pretty big. When I played online reality games, a couple people recognized me back when I was doing a lot more collaborative stuff. And I realized, doing a dance for a man, doing a dance for a woman, I still felt the same. Like, I don't have any connection. I don't feel this. When I did the videos, I didn't really feel the connection towards people physically, and I felt like I was stupid. I was slow. Like with my ex, she wanted to be at fourth base, and stupid thing falls. She wanted to be at fourth base where I was still at first base. And I felt like I was going slow. And I'm like, this is weird. I know I'm a guy. I should want to put, my song into a woman. Like, I should want that. I should want to use my genitalia to, have sex, and it just made no sense to me that like I had no desire for sex. And in 2013, I took a test in my GSA saying that I was asexual, and I did not know what it was back then. And so when I went through all this stuff, I did a lot of dancing. It was mainly dancing or requests. Some people like khakis. I've done everything, and it's just like for me, I just hate that. Like whenever I'm in financial struggles, I always do it, and it's like gray asexuals are treated the worst out of everybody else because people are like, you use it as a crutch. You're not gay, you're actually bi, or oh, you're demi, you're this, you're that. And I'm like, no, I have no attraction to people at all. Like, and again, I know that trans community treated work, but again, in orgs, we're not allowed to say certain things, but other people can say things to us like, oh, why don't you try to fuck me or da 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 da. And I'm like, why don't you show me respect? Why don't you? I show the same respect that you're willing to give to me. If you're not willing to give me that same respect, and you say you want to go to the UK, then how is that the same? It's just like I've been treated terribly in the LGBT community as a straight ally and as an asexual man. I don't really participate in Pride. I don't really do a lot of LGBTQ community events anymore because after I left college, I decided, I was like, it's not worth trying to mingle with people who are very on their own side, and I realized that it's gotten a lot worse for like straight people, asexual people, trans people because of RuPaul Drag Race, because of Dragula, and a lot of people will attack us because we're not gay enough or we're not straight enough. Like they're like, you have to pick a side, and I'm like, that's why in the beginning, that's why I told you about the black. The black is to cover everything, and it's just like, it's just frustrating that like people think that I'm fake about it, where it's just like I would love to do content creating full time. I would love to create content. I would love to make videos through YouTube. I would love to do Twitch. I would love to do TikTok. I would love to actually have the opportunity to actually grow as a person, and I would love an opportunity to do safer work. And so that's why I'm going to be doing a lot more fursuit content, and hopefully that will help me get out of the current situation that I am in. But it's just like, no matter what, I always go back to it because the money's there. Like, it's stupid not to say yes when a sex toy company goes like, hey, we're willing to pay you $500 to review our toy and then do videos on OnlyFans. I'm like, who wouldn't say yes to that? And also, because I'm so big on TikTok, I've been getting some free items, which is really cool because I get to actually do a lot of safer content now than I did in the past, and TikTok has been a great escape for me, but I still do the content because I have to do the content. And I hope one day I can actually quit it and just be like, I'm gray asexual, all I want to do is just have kids. That is my goal one day, is to wave my flag and just be like, hey, I am this part of the flag. And I want people to accept grays in the community because I had a legitimate conversation with someone about being grays, and they are like, you're not asexual, you're bisexual at best. Or I'm like, if they said that I was abrosexual, okay, that makes sense. Like, my sexuality goes with the wind. I get that. If you said I was abrosexual, that's a lot less insulting than saying that I use it as a crutch. And it's like, how much hatred I get as an asexual person, and people are like, it's your personality. I'm like, no. I'm like, I learned from the porn field is that you have to pretty much vocalize so you don't hurt people's feelings, because you do a lot of intimate stuff in porn, and so because of the intimate stuff, I learned to be very vocal about my asexuality, because I don't want someone to think, oh, hey, if I get to know this person, I see that they do porn, that means they're gonna get laid in bed. I don't want that. I want them to know, like, you're talking to someone who doesn't swing that way. I don't swing that way. And it's like, it's frustrating at the same time. Like, I understand why people like have that feeling towards me where they think I'm faking it, but I'm like, I've done it all, and I hope one day I can do YouTube full time and actually, like, make wholesome videos and also make videos that are educational. Because again, I get it. Like, I'm old, and it might be too late for me, but if my story does go out and get shared around the world, cool. But it's just like, gray asexuals are treated the worst, and it's nice to see that Mammon is gray ace, and it's good to have a representative of, like, hey, we can be flirty and kinky. Oh, hey, we can do this. Hey, we can do that. And it's like, it's good to have a character that I can be like, Mammon from Hazbin Hotel. And then people are like, oh. It's like, if I ever get on Survivor or Big Brother, I'll be the first openly asexual person, but I know that I have to play like Todd. I have to play like a stoner, like, dude, and everything. But yeah, that's my asexual journey. It's not the prettiest, it's not the nicest, and hopefully I make more friends. And I have made a lot more friends in the furry community that have been very open armed, very friendly towards me than when I was in the org community and when I was actually participating in events. I'll be doing a lot more furry cons because, again, I have a lot more positive experience with those type of people than trying to do with orbs, trying to deal with pride events, trying to do it with everything. I think for me, the furry fandom will be a great escape for me, and also a great way to help me grow, and a great way to help me truly just be an asexual who just wants to have kids in the future. Until next time, guys, this is Laki, out. Mwah.